Hello, my name is Eincrou, and today it's going to be something a little bit different. I'm going to be playing Dying Light, but I'm not going to be doing it regularly. I'm going to be doing it using this thing here. Let me just go grab this. Yep, Oculus Rift Development Kit Dose. This was sent to me by the one and only Chris Courtois of Stereo 3D Productions, one of the greatest stereoscopic channels on the YouTube. Please, my friends, go and check it out. So what I'm going to do is essentially test a setup. Let me put that down there. Essentially test a setup for recording here that I really wish I would have tested with Abduction, but now I thought of it. I've got the opportunity. I'm going in with Dying Light in virtual reality, and I'm using an extended mode method of playing the game, which means my Oculus Rift is essentially another monitor. So it's essentially my third monitor because I've got two regular monitors, and it just plays full screen on the Oculus Rift. And I'll have a link in the description to how you can set up Dying Light to work with virtual reality. All right, so now it is time for me to tell you a little secret. I do not want you to spread this around too much. I'm also testing my brother's camera. He does not know that I'm doing it right now. He does not know that I have gone into his space that he owns, that is his, and pilfered his camera. So that's between you and me, all right? Testing a Nikon D3300 for recording face cam footage. Not only this, but also in the gameplay itself. Now, I did record the gameplay before, and I can tell you that I messed up and I missed about 20-minute section of the gameplay footage. Though I did record it on the camera, I'm missing it in the gameplay footage, so I will not be having that in this video, which is a shame because I did some cool stuff. But I did some cool stuff in all the parts, so it'll be okay. So that's about all I want to say for now. This is something totally different for me. First time I'm doing something like this. And before I let you go and let the footage start rolling, I need to do one more thing. I just want to tell you one more thing here. Just one more thing I want to tell you all before I go. Excuse me. Right, so let's take a look at this options screen here. So, first thing is, I'm going to have in the description the details on how to get this running. So I don't want to talk about that aspect of this. I just want to see if I can play the game for a little bit. First thing you always got to do when you come in here is vertical sync is on by default. Got to turn that off. And I've got everything else on either medium or low. Foliage quality doesn't make that much difference. Medium, low, or off. Normally, when I'm playing this in VR, I don't need to have all of this off, but because the recording is so difficult in terms of the CPU usage, I just turn everything off so I can get every last bit of performance possible. Loading screen, here we go. Alright, so I'm in the game world, but I'm not where I want to be right now, so I'm going to climb up here, which is always cool to do in VR. Get over here to the safe house. Alright, so a couple things I want to say about the VR experience. First of all, the scale is a little bit too small. This guy looks like a kid rather than an actual human being, but he is an adult. A kid rather than an actual human being. A kid rather than an adult human being. Goodness. So that's an issue that detracts from the realism of this. I wish everything felt bigger, a little bit bigger in the world. Now, second problem is that the head tracking is a little bit delayed. It's ever so slight, and it almost seems like mouse smoothing. But I don't believe the game has any mouse smoothing, so I don't know what that is all about. So there's a slight delay, so I try not to move my head too much to look at things. I use the mouse. I try to keep just a little bit of a range of looking around, but mostly the mouse to turn. And also, the mouse affects the pitch. So pitch-locked mouse would be nice, as Christopher Courtois of Stereo 3D Production calls it, pitch-locked mouse. I just call it a defective mouse, but since it's intentionally defective, perhaps we ought to give it a more pleasant name, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so I'm actually going to make use of the bed here, because I do not want to go out in the middle of the night. Actually, what time is it? So I'm trying to read the UI, which is extremely difficult. Right here, I can read it okay, but in some other areas, it's very difficult to read. Like here, it's a bit tough to read the text for the quests, especially over on the right side, extreme right. The more towards the edges it goes, the harder it is to read. Like I can barely read my cash amount. Looks like 555 or 559 or something like that. Yeah, the text here is extremely difficult to read. It's small. The resolution on the DK2 is not fantastic. But I do have a power level to go apply, so I'll do that here. Ultimate Combatant. I can't even read what it does. You become the best fighter in the quarantine. Something. You can fight without getting tired. Okay, so I can read it if I really strain my eyes and adjust the headset so I can just barely make out the shapes of what might be letters and therefore maybe piece together what it says. So that's the best power skill in the game. So it's almost daytime actually, so I'll just try and run around out here. What do we have available in the area? Oh, there's a quest objective over here. For some reason my mouse is like, it's not actually, it's like there's a limit to how far my mouse can go. I don't know what that's all about. So when I right click, that places, it's supposed to place a marker right where I'm clicking, but as you can see, it is not. Okay, so I'll just go over here. So there are a bunch of zombies down here. I can't read the minimap too well, so I can't see if there are any very dangerous zombies. Okay. I want to give me the option to use the car trap. Very beautiful game, one of the most visually impressive games I've ever played. I think I'll just wait out the sun up here, and the really nasty things will go away. My draw distance on medium, so there's a little bit of glitchiness over there. Yeah, that guy right there, where my crosshair is, that's a big nasty. But he'll run away once the sun comes up. I think. Or I hope. Night survived. I was unnoticed. Let me make sure I'm recording still. Okay. So in this game, if you want to get down from heights, there are no hay bales that you can jump into, hay carts, but there are cars. So let's get into a little bit of combat here. So they did do a little bit with the game to make it appropriate for VR, such as doing all these moves doesn't cause the head to move. or the camera to move. Even though my head really should be moving, so it looks kind of weird, but it is more comfortable than it would be if they forced the head to move, or the camera to move. And there are many different situations where the camera moves in 2D. I've played the game mostly in 2D. But they address those situations to make the camera not move. Actually, there's a vent down here. Let's see. Should be over here. It's really difficult to read the minimap. Thankfully, I've played enough of the game that I can make some sense of what's happening. Hello, sir. See, he looks a little too small.
You listen good, son. You think those biters out there are dangerous? What you gotta watch out for is right in here, locked up with us. Yeah, I'm talking about people. Of course, I'm talking about people. You know why? Because people are goddamn unpredictable. Biters, you know what they're gonna do. They're gonna bite. But you get somebody in here. Somebody who's used to living the good life. Somebody spoiled, pampered, and then all of a sudden they're sleeping on the floor.
Sometimes the random events are just guys that want to do a monologue.
That kind of thing. And you pay attention to this. That kind of thing will screw with your mind worse than any zombie. Zombies, that's too strange, too far out of the human experience, too far off script for most people's minds. But somebody who's used to living like a king, and now they're worse than a beggar, they understand that. And they're the ones to watch out for, because they will fucking snap in a heartbeat, and you don't have the slightest idea what they're capable of, or what they'll
Oh, shield looks cool
So
in
be
VR.
careful. And keep a weapon handy.
Yeah, but we should keep an eye out for homicidal 1%ers.
So he doesn't take him too seriously. Alright. So where was that quest objective? Let's try to... This is so weird. I don't know why the... It looks like what they did was they just shrunk the visible area of the UI, but they didn't actually address... Why can't I track this objective? They shrunk the visible area but didn't address where the icons actually light up in terms of interacting with them. So... Let's see. Is that what the quest is? Yes, it is. So I'm gonna head over there. So the weapon models in this game are really cool to begin with. So here's something. The weapon models are really cool to begin with, but see them in VR, and they're reasonably well placed, is a real treat. Ooh, get a sense of, ooh, get the heebie-jeebies doing that kind of stuff. Platforming in this is really enjoyable when you do it in virtual reality. Got some stereoscopic issues with the reflections on the water. Let's see, am I heading in the correct direction? No. Over there. So let's see if I can make this work. Oh no! I had the wrong item equipped. But you can see how even though I'm laid out, it didn't force my camera like, So that's pretty good.
I've got a special deal for you.
Oh, it actually put me right where I want to be. That is... Actually, I'm not right where I want to be, but I'm close. Alright, let's try this again. This time the grappling hook is equipped. Oh, we got some lockpicking. I haven't seen what the lockpicking looks like. Oh my god, it's actually 3D. I have not seen lockpicking in VR, but it's legitimate. Oh! Who would have thought? This is very hard lockpick right here. So I expect to lose a couple picks. Here we go. So my pitch is off right now. Let's fix that. So you wouldn't have some issues trying to open chests up because it does move the camera in that situation. Yep, it's moving the camera a little bit there. So that's Just Cause 2 physics. You can do the same thing in Just Cause 2 with the grappling hook. Somehow you can, by increasing your speed, when you grapple at the ground and reel in, you do not take any damage from hitting the ground. Just Cause 2 physics are very convenient, even though they are very unrealistic. Here's some zombies. See some bad reflections. So in the posts, oh, there should be, oh, there's an exploder. And there's a spitter spitting at me. Let me get my weapon back. Should be, ooh, ooh, ooh. There should be a, maybe it's in the water? Whoa. This is cool. I haven't been in the water in this game yet. Water's so dirty I can't see anything. There's no position tracking. Which, for some people, contributes to a sense of motion sickness. And on that topic, first of all, and with that swing, usually the camera goes like that. But they decided to make the camera not move at all. Where am I trying to go? Over there. Anyways, as I was trying to say, on the Reddit forum where I saw some posts about this game being available to play in VR, they mentioned that they got very sick playing it because of the motion. It's really intense. And it indeed is. Some of the most intense motion you will ever see.
So you're the new running guy. I am Bajoran. I'm not much to look at, but I'm a man who can put money
Can't move my
in
head,
pockets.
which is not
Real
cool.
Money.
Camera's
Scout
locked.
locates viable predators, and the runner waves a red flag at them. They will then pursue you until you either give them the slip, or they eat your head. Both are acceptable outcomes for me.
So how much?
Since you're just getting started, your reward would be small, but that amount would increase as your successes accrued.
So I've got 2 minutes left before a timer goes off because I can only record 20 minutes at a time with this camera. So let's see if I can find Tariq and speak to him.
You're back.
And then I'll restart the
find
recording.
Mike?
Mike was his dog. He's dead. And so is his father.
Move my
It wasn't even
camera a
the
little bit
infected, it
down.
was just some twisted creep.
This place is too much for people. Listen, Crane. These are the keys
Gotta close
to the
one eye to
museum
read the
storage.
subtitles.
There's a lot of weapons from all different times. Maybe you'll find something useful there.
Thanks, Tariq. Hey, but there's something else I want from you.
Sure, anything.
You said you're not good with kids?
No, not really.
Well, get good.
I will try. I give you my word.
Alright, $2,000. Why can't I? Oh, my hand's not in the correct place on the keyboard. Alright, so I will take a break here, restart the recording.